I am so excited to share with you the tail end of this year's adventure growing loofah gourds. Just 2 years ago, I started this adventure growing loofahs, and I was exploring ways to just be more sustainable around the homestead. And loofah gourds and loofah sponges are one way that I decided to do that. Now, in our homestead now, we're using loofah sponges in the shower. I use them to wash dishes. I don't have a dishwasher. And we use them for all kinds of scouring and cleaning around the homestead. Loofah sponges are fantastic because they're cheap to grow. They're pretty easy to grow if you learn some tips and tricks how to do it. And they really can produce a lot, as you can see here. When I started growing these loofah sponges, the most mind-boggling thing to me was how to get the loofah sponges out of the loofah gourds. And I've gone through different versions of how to peel these guys, and I wanted to go over them with you. And I also wanted to share with you in the end what I feel is actually the easiest way to peel a loofah sponge. 2 years ago when we started this adventure, I think we only had 3 or 4 plants, and to be honest with you, I thought it was a complete failure. I didn't see any of the plants germinate, I didn't see any flowers, I didn't see any loofahs growing until the very end of the season. I started noticing them here and there.
Look! Look! Look, do you know what these are? Here, look, here's another one. Look over here. Look how long that is. Oop. Do you know what these are? These are loofah gourds. I can hardly even believe it. These aren't the only 2. There are just a bunch of them all over. I bet there's a dozen. Well, maybe 10, but I bet there's a dozen of them. But this is a wonderful surprise. I'm super excited.
It was such a surprise, and I was so excited. And fall came, and it was time to harvest them, and then I was like, what on earth am I supposed to do with these now?
Today, we're taking the loofah out of the loofah. Woo, there goes part of it. Isn't this fun? You can actually like get your aggressions out too at the same time. It's like a homestead workout. Okay, so look at these. Pretty awesome. This is a workout.
So peeling fresh loofahs ended up being like this aerobic workout, and I had 15 total of them. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that with 15 loofah gourds. So I decided to let them sit in the house and dry out a little bit and try a different method. Now it's time. They are all dried out, and I didn't peel all of them fresh. I just left some of them alone, didn't do anything to them. And maybe you can hear, but they are completely dried out. The sponge part is still inside, and I'm going to teach you how to peel these and get the sponge out now. And so the first step is just to kind of crack it. Just start cracking it a little bit. So I'm just going to keep cracking and keep peeling this off, and occasionally I will shake out the seeds. It's all out of there. Now there's still a lot of seeds in there, and I can see them on the inside. I'll do my best to get them out of there. Peeling the loofah gourds when they were dry was a whole different experience, and I vowed from that very moment that I wouldn't do it any other way. This past year, which was the second year growing them, I decided to do something a lot different. I planted at least twice as many plants. I started them early in the greenhouse so they would have a jump start so I could potentially get a lot more of them. And boy, did I ever. Last year I grew a lot of loofah gourds, and I decided this year I was gonna plant 10 loofah plants just to see what I got. I was super discouraged because as the summer progressed, I saw nothing. But just like last year, out of the blue in September, I saw the vines just taking over the entire garden. And all of a sudden, as I was paying attention, I saw the beginnings of loofah gourd here and the beginnings of a loofah gourd there. And now when I come out to the garden, everywhere I look, I can count like 5 loofah gourds. Every place that I looked. Not just 5 total, but 5 at every glance. They're everywhere, and I'm so excited. At the end of the season, I realized that we had so many loofah gourds that there was no way that I could harvest them all on my own, so I enlisted the girls' help. Well, what about this? I can't even believe it. This was 10 plants in the ground. What a great haul. We had so many loofah gourds. It actually ended up being almost exactly 100 loofah gourds. Because winter was approaching, I needed to get all these loofah gourds into the house to start drying out. A month into them being in the house drying out, I started to freak out a little bit because something was going wrong. In the perfect world of loofahs, you start off with a nice, heavy green loofah gourd, just like this. And then it softens up and starts turning a lighter color, like almost a yellow, like this. This is much lighter. And then it continues to lose moisture inside naturally and get turned brown, like this, until it's completely light and dry and you can hear things moving around inside. This one's not ready yet. So that's the way it's supposed to go. But we've obviously had some problems here. Some of them aren't going well at all. Many of them, like this one, have a spot that is getting moldy and yucky. And, you know, I'm not sure what's going on inside of there. This one has something similar going on. And while I received a lot of advice and a lot of opinions about what was going on with those loofahs, it all ended up okay. I only lost about 10 loofah gourds, and about 90 of them survived and dried out perfectly, and here they are. So here I am, months later, with all of these dried loofah gourds. And there is a third way that I'm gonna try to peel these guys and to see if that one is even easier. So let me get set up and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, well here we go. I have a tub of water in front of me and a dry loofah. So I got this idea, I think from a couple subscribers and viewers that gave me the suggestion to basically rehydrate this skin a little bit, and apparently it will help peel the loofah skin off. So that is what I'm gonna try today. I'm hoping like this is the best way to peel a loofah because I have plenty of them to do. So I'm just gonna press this in the water here, hold it under there until I feel like that is softening. I could probably just like leave it here a little bit, but it is pretty buoyant. On several of the others that have dried out, the end has kind of opened up. So I'm going to open this up a little bit so water can get inside of there and help loosen up that skin from the inside out. Well, already the skin feels like it's getting a little bit more pliable. I'm gonna start crunching it a little bit to see if that helps loosen it up even more. But it's definitely much more pliable than it was before. I'm gonna keep holding it under the water. Now that it's kind of leathery, I'm gonna start peeling it off. That is pretty easy. Just kind of peeling like a banana. Doesn't seem like this way is as messy. You know, that peeled off super easy. I would say that out of the 3 methods, this method is the one that peels the easiest. But the one thing I'm most concerned about with this method is how we're gonna get all the seeds out from inside of there. But I'm thinking that this method isn't going to be the easiest for getting seeds out. Now in the dry method, I could just shake on it and bang it, you know, and the seeds would just kind of fall out. So I think this is gonna be a lot harder to get the seeds out. I think what I'm gonna have to do now is just let this dry. Squeeze it out, let it dry, maybe over by the wood stove. And I'm gonna have to shake out the seeds from there, or I'm gonna have to cut them and then dig the seeds out. So to be honest with you, I'm not sure which is easier, to do this method where you soak the dry skin and just peel it off and then have to deal with wet seeds inside of there, or to peel it off and flake it off, which is a little bit harder with it dry, but I think that the seeds come out easier that way. But by far, peeling a fresh loofah is the most intensive, messy, time-consuming way. So I think either the second way or the third way is how I'm gonna go from here on out. So there you go, 3 ways to peel a loofah gourd, although I suggest working with them when they're dry. You guys, if you are an avid gardener, I recommend that you try growing loofah gourds. They're really interesting, they're really fun, and definitely useful on the homestead. I do have a video out there that explains a lot about growing loofahs, so if you have questions about that, go ahead and check out that video. I get my seeds for the loofah gourds from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company, so check them out. You can order them from there. If you have grown loofah gourds, let me know in the comments below what you've done with them. I'm looking for more ideas, and I'd love for you to share your ideas with the other people who will watch this video. You guys, if you enjoyed this video and if you're enjoying our channel, we would love to have you as a subscriber. Don't forget to check us out on all of our social media, including Instagram. And until next time, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.